In this video, you will get a complete step-by-step walkthrough on how to apply for post-graduation work permit. If you are a recent graduate in Canada or about to finish your last semester and wondering how to apply for post-graduation work permit, well, this video is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Zunair and welcome to my YouTube channel. This video will be in English so that most of you can benefit from it. And the video is divided in three main parts to make the whole process super easy for you. First, we will go over the document requirements for PGWP application. Second, we will walk through the portal questions and how to answer them correctly. And finally, I will show you how to fill out IMM5710 form. Overall, PGWP application is one of the easiest immigration application because you don't have to write any SOP or letter of explanation like you do for a study permit or a visit visa application, until or unless you have a special condition to explain, such as being a part-time student during your studies or your study permit has already expired. In such conditions, you may need professional assistance. With that, let's start with the first part of the video, that is the list of documents required. To apply for PGWP, you will need 5 documents. The first one is, of course, your passport. It needs to be valid for the full duration of work permit you are hoping to get. For example, if you completed a 1-year or a longer master program, then you guys are eligible for a 3-year post-graduation work permit. But if your passport expires in less than 3 years, then your work permit will only be issued until the expiry date of your passport. So if you have time and your passport has less than 3 years of validity left, I highly recommend you renewing it before you apply. Now the second document is your digital photo. It must be taken within the last 6 months and meet the IRCC digital photo requirements. The easiest way is, if you are in Canada, just go to any Staples or London Drugs and ask them that you need a digital photo for temporary visa application. They know exactly what to do. But if you're applying from outside Canada or your photographer is not sure about the specs, then in that case, just Google IRCC digital photo requirements for temporary residence or temporary visa applications. Click on the PDF link. You can download the PDF and show it to your photographer. The next 2 documents you need are your official transcript and letter of completion. And trust me, these are the most important ones. Your transcript must be final and official, not the unofficial one that you can download anytime from your student portal. The official transcript is issued by your institution after all the grades are recorded for the last semester. Then comes the letter of completion, which is basically your university's way of saying that the student has completed all the program requirements. It usually reads something like, Mr. X was enrolled in ABC program and has successfully fulfilled all the graduation requirements. Here is something to keep in mind. Some institutions issue both documents together, while others issue letter of completion first, and then they take 3 to 4 days to issue the final transcript. My advice would be, get in touch with your department advisor and find out when these documents would be available, because the timeline of these is super important. And make sure that you have no pending dues on your university account, because the universities hold back these documents when you have outstanding fees, and that can cause undue delay of several days. So here is why I keep emphasizing the timeline of these 2 documents is super important, because the moment any one of them is issued by your institute, you must stop working immediately. As most of you are already working somewhere, so be proactive and inform your employer in advance. Let them know, hey, I might not be available for work on these specific dates, so don't schedule me, or try to arrange leave ahead of time. Alright, let's talk about the final document, that is your language test results. This is a new rule from IRCC, and if you're applying on or after November 1st, 2024, you must submit a valid language test results. If you graduated from a university, whether it's a bachelor's or a master or any university program, you need to score minimum of CLB 7 in all 4 language areas. And the accepted language tests are IELTS General, CELPIP General, and PTE Core. And remember, if you took the IELTS Academic for your study permit application, that test is not valid for your PGWP application. You must take IELTS General, CELPIP General, or PTE Core to apply for PGWP application. And if you studied at a college or a polytechnic institute, basically a non-university program, then you need to score a minimum of CLB 5 instead of CLB 7. Here is another super important thing. If your study permit application was submitted on or after November 1st, 2024, then you must graduate from an eligible field of study to qualify for PGWP. But if your study permit application was submitted before November 1st, 2024, then this requirement doesn't apply to you. As of now, there are around 989 field of studies that are eligible for PGWP application. So always check the IRCC website that your program is eligible for PGWP and is on the list of eligible field of studies. That wraps up the first part of the video. Here the list of 5 documents that you need for your PGWP application. Feel free to take a screenshot of it for your reference. Now let's move to the second part of the video, that is answer the questionnaire on IRCC portal. For this, let's move to my laptop screen. First, you need to log in to your IRCC GC account. It is super easy to create. You can follow the steps on IRCC website or watch any YouTube video tutorial to create a GCKey account. After logging into your GCKey account, you will land on this page, and if you can scroll to the bottom, you will find an option apply to come to Canada. You need to click on that. It will take us to the next window where it will require to put personal reference code. We don't have personal reference code, then in that case we will click on visitor visa, study, or work permit. Next we have what would you like to do in Canada. We will select work. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? We will select more than 6 months. Temporarily, more than 6 months. Select the code that matches the one on your passport. We will select the relevant code here. And next question is, what is your current country or territory of residence? If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. So as we are applying within the Canada, we will select Canada here. Okay. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident and is 18 years or older? You will select accordingly. I will select no. What is your date of birth? You can just putting a random number here. You need to put your date of birth here and click next. Next is, are you a lawful permanent resident of United States with a valid US citizenship? We'll select no. Click on next. What is your current immigration status in Canada? We will select here student because we are student right now. Click on next. Do you plan to work on campus? Well, on this question we will select no because we want to work outside the campus as well, and we are applying for an open work permit, so in that case we will select no. Click on next. Are you a full-time student at a participating post-secondary institution and want to work off campus up to 20 hours per week? We will select yes. Have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary institution for which your program was full-time and a minimum of 8 months? So we will select yes here because in order to be eligible for postgraduate work permit, your program should be full-time and it should be a minimum of 8 months or longer. Is your work an essential part of your studies, for example, a co-op or an internship program? We will select no here because we are not applying for a co-op or an internship work permit. We are applying for open work permit after graduation, so we will select no here. Click on next. Have you been told by IRCC office that you are approved in principle for permanent residence in Canada? We will select no here. Have you submitted a permanent resident application in Canada? We will select no. Just a clarity on this question. If you have created express entry profile in the past and you didn't receive any ITA or you did not submit any PR application, then you will select no in this question, because just creating an express entry profile doesn't mean that you are actually submitting permanent residence application. Next question is, do you have a written job offer? We will select no here. Although you might be working with an employer on a full-time basis and you have a written job offer from that employer, but that job offer is not valid here. This option is mainly for the ones who are applying a work permit on the basis of LMIA or ICT work permit. So we will select, in our case for PGWP, we will select no here. Click on next button. Do you have an official letter from your school that confirms you have completed your study program, as well as a copy of your final transcript? We need these two documents in order to apply for PGWP application. If we don't have the letter of completion as well as the final transcript, we cannot apply for PGWP application. So that's why we will select yes here. Click on next. What is your marital status? You can select as per your situation. What is your province or territory of destination? You can select here the one where are you located right now. It doesn't matter because we are applying an open work permit, so the location doesn't matter in this case. Click on next. So results. So based on our selections, the system has given us the options that you can apply for these applications. So we will select postgraduate work permit in Canada. Click on continue. It will ask few more questions and will take us to that final document checklist. Click on continue. So this is the same question that we have answered earlier. So select yes. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel physician within the last 12 months? If you have done your medicals in last 12 months, you can select yes here. But in most of the cases, we gave our medicals when we applied for study permit, and that normally don't fall within last 12 months. So we will select no here. Then it asks if you intend to work in one of the following jobs. So any kind of public health related job, it can either be doctor, nurses, healthcare assistant, or personal sport workers. Or if you're planning to teach in primary or secondary schools, then you will require a fresh or a new medical. Then you need to select yes here, or otherwise in most of the cases, if you're not working in these, or if you don't have a plan to work in these professions, you will select no here. Click on next. It will ask the same question again. Do you want to work in one of the following jobs? Go through the list. If you are not planning to work in these jobs, you will select no here. Click on next. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? So if you are applying or you are including your spouse as well, or you are applying a permit for your dependent kids as well, you will select yes here. We will select no for simplicity. Are you giving someone access to your application? Well, in our case, we ourselves are applying, so we will select no here and click on next. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photo for an application to come to Canada? We will select yes here because we gave biometrics and photo when we were coming on study permit or when we were applying for the study permit. So we will select yes here. Click on next. Next, it will ask there are fees associated with application, and if you will be paying the fees, we will select yes, I will be paying my application fees. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with scanner or camera? We will select yes. Will you be paying your application fees online using Visa, MasterCard, and all that? We will select yes here. Review your answers. So I will suggest you take a moment, go through all of your answers in detail, and if you want to change or modify anything, click on this icon and change or modify at this stage of application, because once we hit the continue, it would be very difficult to change anything, to make any changes, or we might have to make a new application from the scratch. So go through all of your answers in detail, make the required modifications, and click the continue at the bottom. On this page, it will provide you the instructions or guidelines to submit your application and the specification of the documents or the pictures that you guys will be uploading. Go through this page and then click the continue at the bottom. Here is our document checklist. So first of all, we have IMM5710 form, which I will show you how to fill it in a while. Next, we have the supporting documents, recent education transcript, our final transcript, letter of completion, passport, digital photo, and we have to upload our language test results as well. For that, we will be uploading right now in the client information section. They haven't, as of now, they haven't updated this screen. Maybe in future they will have a tab to upload your language test results here, but right now we will be submitting our language test results in the client information form or the client information tab. So next we have fees: work permit 155, open work permit holder fee $100, so total of $255 plus tax. Coming to the third and last part of the video, which is filling IMM5710 form. In order to download it, you need to click on this link. It will open the form in the new window. It will actually take us to IRCC website, and to download the updated version, we need to click on this link. So the form has already been downloaded. So if we try to open the form in the browser by clicking here, it will give us this error. In order to rectify this, you need to download latest version of Adobe Reader. It's a free available software. You can download it in your system, and I will show you how that works. So I already have downloaded Adobe Reader, the latest version of it, and I will open my downloads. Here's the form. I will right click on it and open with Adobe Acrobat. So it will open the form in Adobe Acrobat, and this is how the form looks like. Let's start filling out this form. So first of all, it will ask us our UCI number. UCI stands for Unique Client Identifier. You will find your UCI number on your study permit. I have opened one sample. If you will see at the top right corner, on the third row here, you will find your UCI number. So you will enter your UCI number here. I am entering just a random number here. The next question is, I want service in. We will select either English or French. I'm applying for one or more of the following. Here we will select the third option, apply for a work permit for the first time or with a new employer. Now it will ask our personal details. First of all, we need to enter our full name. So I will enter my name here. Have you ever used any other name? If you have used, you need to enter here. Otherwise, we will select no. You need to enter your sex here. Date of birth. I am just entering random date here. Place of birth. You need to enter the city or town where you were born. Country. You will select your country here. Citizenship. You will select your current citizenship here. Current country or territory of residence. Where are you currently located? So we will select Canada here because we are applying inside Canada, not outside Canada. Our current status, we will select student because right now we are student. Here we need to enter date of issuance of our study permit, so that you can find on your study permit right here, date issued. And in the next step, it is very important, you need to mention here the expiry date of your study permit. Not today's date or not the date on which you receive your final results or the final transcript or the letter of completion. You need to enter here the expiry date or the end date of your study permit, and it should be in future. because based on this state you will be on implied status or maintained status. Otherwise, if your study permit has already expired, then you will not get the maintained status or implied status. That means you cannot work full time. So it is very important you need to mention the expiry date of your study permit here. Next, we have previous countries or territories of residence. So if you have lived in last 5 years in a country other than your country of citizenship or country of residence would be Canada. So if you have lived for more than 6 months in another country that is not your country of citizenship or your current country of residence, then you need to select yes here and you will fill the form accordingly. Otherwise, for simplicity, we are selecting no here. The next question is your current marital status. You need to select the option as per your situation. I am selecting single here, but if you are married, you need to provide the date of your marriage as well as the first and last name of your spouse. Have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? I am selecting no, but if you have a situation like that, then you will select yes and provide the detailed duration of that relationship as well as the date of birth of your spouse, first and last name as well. The next section is languages. What is your native language? Select as per. The next section is languages. Native language or mother tongue. I will select Urdu here, and from this option we will select English. Are you able to communicate English and or French? Have you taken tests from a designated testing agency to assess your proficiency in English and French? We will select yes here. Now the detail of your passport, you will provide the passport number here. Country or territory of issue, I will select Pakistan. Issue date and expiry date, you will select as mentioned on your document, on your passport document. Make sure your passport is valid for the duration you are expecting to get your work permit. Then the identity document details. Do you have a national identity document? We will select yes. For candidates from Pakistan, it would be your national identity card, CNIC as well. And for candidates from India, it would be your Aadhaar card. So we will mention the document number here as well as the country of issuance and issue or an expiry date as mentioned on your document. Are you a lawful permanent resident of United States with a valid alien registration card or a green card? We will select no. If you will select yes, you will provide the document number as well as the expiry date. Then coming to the contact information section, you will provide here's your mailing address on which you want to receive your work permit. Residential address same as mailing address. I will select yes here. So next we have the telephone number. We will select our cellular and provide our cellular number here and provide the email ID here on which you want to receive communication from IRCC. It should be a valid email ID. Next section is about your arrival in Canada, date and place of your original entry to Canada. You will select the date on which you landed here in Canada. For place, mention the city where you landed. Or you can mention the airport as well. For example, I will mention Calgary Airport. The original purpose for coming to Canada, in our case, it would be study. Date and place of your most recent entry to Canada. So if your most recent date of entry to Canada is different from the one you have provided above, then you need to mention the date here as well. If applicable, provide the document number of the most recent visitor record, study permit, work permit. In this case, you will provide the document number of your study permit, and you can find that document number on your study permit at the right top corner. I have the study permit sample here. So here on the top right corner, there would be a number starting from F followed by 9 digits. That is your document number for your study permit. You need to mention this document number here in this tab. So moving on to the details of intended work in Canada. What type of work permit are you applying for? We are applying for post-graduation work permit. The remaining questions in this section from question number 2 to 7, we will not fill these fields because these are related to the candidates that are applying a closed work permit based on a LMIA or ICT program. You might be working with an employer, or you may have a full-time job offer from an employer, but we will not mention the details of that offer here because we are applying for PGWP, that is an open work permit. It's not an employer specific work permit. We will answer the question number 8 here. Have you been issued a certificate under the provincial nominee program? We will select no. The next section is about education, and we need to provide the details of our highest level of post-secondary education. Have you had any post-secondary education including university, college, or apprenticeship training? We'll select yes, and we will provide the details here, the duration of the program, field and level of study, school, city, territory, and province or state. So I will fill these details. Next, we have the most important section is the employment section. Here we need to provide the details of our employment in last 10 years. Here in this form, you can provide the details of your 3 different employments which you had in last 10 years. But in my case, I had more than 3 employers. So what I did, I created an addendum for this IMM5710 form. It's a simple Word file. Applicant, I provide my name here, UCI number here. So then I created this draft. Then I created these fields based on the similar format that you will find in the actual form. As you can see here, from to current activity, occupation, company name or employer name, city, country, and province. I created similar fields here and provided details of my employment that I had in last 10 years. Why I say it is one of the most important section in the whole form, because it provides you an opportunity to declare all the experience that you had in last 10 years. If you have an experience that you haven't declared in your previous application while you were applying for study permit, this gives you an opportunity to declare it. I will suggest you to consult immigration professional to mention the experience that you haven't declared earlier in this form. The next section is about the background information. Within past 2 years, have you or family member ever had tuberculosis of the lungs or been in close contact with a person? We will select no. Do you have any physical or mental disorder that would require social or health services other than medication during a stay in Canada? I will select no here. But if you are going to select yes, you need to provide details here in this field. Have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status, attended school without authorization, or worked without authorization in Canada? We'll select no here. Have you ever been refused a visa or permit, denied entry, or ordered to leave Canada or any other country or territory? We will select no here, but it is very important to note here that this question is not specific to Canada, but it is asking any visa refusal or permit refusal in any other country or territory. So if you have any visa refusal from US, Canada, UK, Australia, or because the Canada share its immigration data with these countries and few other countries as well. So if you have ever had a visa refusal or permit refusal from any of the country, you need to declare here. Have you previously applied to enter or remain in Canada? In our case, it will be yes, because we have already applied for, or we were granted study permit, so we will select yes here. Whenever you will select yes in this question, you need to provide the relevant details in this field. Let me show you how I will provide the details. For question B, study permit refuse on date, application number this, Spain visit visa refused on this date, visit visa of UK refused, and for the question C, we were granted visa or study permit on this date. So you can provide your details. If you have any refusal, you need to declare it here. Next is, have you ever been arrested for, or been charged with, or convicted of any criminal offense in any country or territory? We will select no. Do you serve in military or any civil defense unit? We will select no here, but if you have served in these agencies, you need to provide details, and you will select yes here. Are you or have been a member of or associated with any political party? We will select no here. Have you ever witnessed or participated in the ill treatment of prisoners, looting of religious buildings? We will select no here. Moving on to the last section, which is the signature section. Do you consent to be contacted by IRCC in future? We will select yes. We will write our full name and date, today's date here. At the bottom of the form, you will find validate icon to validate the whole form. But before clicking on this, I will like to add one thing in the employment section. In the employment section, if you don't have any employment to declare that you had in last 10 years, then what you can do is you can mention that you were student, and in the company name you can mention your university or institute, and from or to you can mention the duration of your program, city, country, and state, because this is a mandatory section, and if you will not provide any details here, it will not allow you to validate the form. So let's scroll down and click on the validate. It will take some time. If it will detect any error or a missing field, it will show you a message, and you can scroll up and provide the relevant details. In our case, our validation completed successfully. Although the message says please print the entire application and sign and date the last page, we don't need to take the print of this entire application and sign it, because we are applying online. Because we will be asked to provide the electronic signature towards the end of our application when we will be ready to submit the application. And we will click OK here, and you will observe on the last page it will create barcodes for us, and we will click on the OK, and you will note on the last page it will create these barcodes for us. After these barcodes are created, we will click on the save and save the updated form in our application folder, and from there we will be uploading this to our IRCC portal. Now we are back in our IRCC portal. We will upload the filled form after creating those barcodes by clicking on this upload file. And same goes for your recent education transcript, that is your final transcript, letter of completion from your university. So if you need any kind of help or guideline regarding these documents, you can click on this help icon. So for example, in case of your passport, you must provide a copy of the page that shows your birth date and country of origin, as well as any pages with stamps, visas, or markings. Same goes for digital photo. You can get the guideline here as well. In the client information, You need to provide, if you have created the addendum to declare your employment history, you need to provide that addendum here. And don't forget to upload your language test results here in the client information form, because right now this is the only field where you can upload your language test results. Maybe in future IRCC will update their application form and you can have a field to upload the language test results here. But right now, don't forget to upload your language test in the client information form. And after that, you will click the continue, pay the fee online, and provide your electronic signature and submit your PGWP application. Before we wrap up, I would like to talk about some important deadlines that you need to keep in mind. If you are applying from within Canada, then you need to apply within 90 days after receiving your either final transcript or letter of completion, or before the expiry of your current study permit, whichever comes first. And if you are applying from outside Canada, then you have 180 days to apply for PGWP after receiving your final grades or transcript, or before the expiry of your current study permit, again, whichever comes first. Alright, that's a wrap up. I hope after watching this video you will feel way more confident about your PGWP application. I have tried to cover every detail, but if you still have any question or concern, you can mention that in the comment section. I will be more than happy to help there. Or you can also send me an email or DM me on my Instagram. Also, in my next video, I will show you how to apply for TRV once your PGWP is approved. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you don't miss it. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and share it with your friends or classmates. I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.